In today's video, we got some of the creepiest TikToks on the internet that's going to make you question everything. Let's get into it.
It has taken the threat of RFK stepping into the position as the head of the Department of Health for Fruit Loops, who has been around for maybe 80 years at this point, to finally take out the carcinogenic chemical dyes that gives them that, you see that color right there? Oh, that, mind you, we're basically the only ones actually using, because you see there are requirements that are much different in other places in the world. For example, in the EU, in Europe, they're not going to let this product be sold to their population, let alone their children. And yet in these United States, we have allowed for our kids to eat this as a breakfast option at school. The schools are serving these up hand over fist. This is one of the most profitable products in any school. Fruit Loops. Fake food. It's not real. There is no fruit. It's chemicals. That's what it is. And somehow we're supposed to trust the individuals, such as the Elizabeth Warrens and the Bernie Sanders, who said no to RFK. We're supposed to see him as the enemy. Yeah. Not them, right? Not those guys.
They say, Gilly, we want to invite you to the Rock Nation brunch. I'm the nigga that said, why would I want to come? Why wouldn't you want to come? I said, you want me to keep it real with you, or you want me to lie to you? Keep it a buck. I said, the Rock Nation brunch ain't of nothing but Jay-Z putting a bunch of on the lawn and then going in the back door and saying, I told you I still run this shit. Give me the money. Wow. You think I'm letting it use my brand? Huh? See, Rich shit like this. Yeah, I see how you turn to that. I got this shit from Russell and them. I ain't dead yet. But I be seeing the rich shit like this. You know, they get a little money, they cross their legs and shit. That's all this is, man. Let's keep it real. I operate with 26 major brands. You think I don't know what branding is? Come on, we don't work from New Amsterdam Vodka, Manscaped, Harrier Razors, Roman Swipes, you name them. They come to $1 million worth of game because we move the needle. I don't let nobody allow to use my brand with their brand. What do you get from going to these parties except for a picture? I don't even smile with you if you ain't worth 500 million or more. Let's be for real. The only smiling they do is when the billionaires in the picture. Look at all these broke ass on the lawn. Come on, man. I ain't with none of that shit. I don't want to party with you. I built the way for myself. I made a way for myself. I made my own way. Me and God, man. So I don't want to kick it with you. I don't want to do nothing. I want to stay in my own world. Smoke my weed and make my content and keep kicking you asses. That's what I like to do.
I saw that. That was one heck of a podcast. I was listening to clips today, this morning, and I wish I could react to those clips on my second YouTube channel, but unfortunately, he blocks anybody reacting to his content. Highly recommend. He drops some gems on there, but make sure you guys go check out my second channel. We got some videos that are coming up regularly.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Diddy put all his money in the last album that Biggie did. It was called Life After Death. He went down there broke for that album. What happened? Tupac got killed. What happened? When Tupac got killed, Petey was in trouble. Diddy, you out of there. Nobody fuck with you no more. Everybody think you had something to do with Tupac. When Tupac got killed, guess what? Everybody stopped fucking with Biggie and Puff. But guess what? Everything sold out on the shelf. It wasn't a Tupac motherfucking pen nowhere. You couldn't find everything sold off the shelf. Everything. You can't find no Tupac, nothing nowhere. Everything sold. You know what Diddy said? That's it. That's it right there. That's what we need right there. I can't do nothing off him alive. I can't make no money off him. They don't fuck with him no more. You gotta think what line of work he's in. You gotta think of line of work. If I spend all my money on you, you can't sell no, ain't shit. I can't do nothing with an album that's still sitting on the shelf. But I can't do nothing with you alive either. They don't fuck with you. But guess what? Damn. You know what? I'm gonna send him right back down there to the place they don't like him at. Why would I send somebody that got a threat into a city that where the main guy? Why would I send you where Tupac got killed at? I mean, hell, nigga, my job to look out for you, not kill you. That's not a good manager decision to be looking out for my orders and say, I'm gonna send you back down there where this man got murdered at. Shit, only if I'm up to something. And as we can tell, he was up to something. Because rumors, I know after the fact, years after the fact, oh, Diddy hired this for this, Diddy name shouldn't come up in nothing Biggie had did. But guess what Biggie Mama said? Y'all know who killed my son? Didn't nobody listen to Biggie Mama. Biggie Mama knew that Puff and them had something to do with her son getting killed. Because you don't get killed and don't nobody know what happened. You don't be sitting in the van. Let me tell y'all something. When somebody out to get you, they gonna get you, not him. He might get straight. But the job is to get you. What happened to Tupac? He got hit. What happened to Suge? He got straight. What happened to Biggie? He got hit. What happened to everybody else in the car? Nobody, because they ain't out to get him. That's what you call a setup. I saw that.
He's got a little point that I was 6 years old when all this went down, so I don't know, but people probably didn't really mess with him. But even to this day, like Tupac's, I don't know the word I'm looking for, his empire, he's known worldwide. There's murals of him in China and everywhere. There's murals of Tupac. His name has just continued to grow after Biggie. I bet if you go look at his streams compared to Tupac streams, it's apple and oranges. And I was at Diddy saying I don't want him to get, all the praise and all that. I want all the attention. It could be that he kind of shadow banned his legacy to keep growing after death. But Tupac, man, he's still growing. He's still growing and growing and growing. And Biggie's kind of, I don't want to say local, but he's not as big as Tupac is worldwide.
About the 17-year-old basketball player, straight A student. He from the block, he got out. They protected those guys. What happened?
That's who killed my son.
The 17? Yeah.
Now we know why he was killed. Noah Scurry was a 17-year-old rising basketball star from Philadelphia. The kind of kid you look at and think, he got a future. He was the captain of his basketball team, putting up 15 points a game.
It's crazy.
He even had the highest SAT score in his classroom. The teachers loved him, the coaches respected him, and he was on his way up. But there was a side that nobody knew about him. The streets, they knew him as Joker OTV. So just the day before,
another attack, y'all. That lady on Sean Ryan called it. There's going to be attacks in 2025. So far, only with cars.
The truth is, Barack Obama was not elected by black people. Even if all the black people in America voted for Barack Obama, he still wouldn't win because we're that small of a group in the United States. Latinos, whites, they said, we want him, black man in office. Now, of course, we black people in America, we appreciate it. We're like, yes, finally we have a black president, blah, 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 blah. And I can go into that too on another level. But just the sheer excitement of it, okay? Just keep it light, keep it on the surface. To understand the movement for real, the real freedom movement, it has no color on it. And if it did have a color on it, it would be revolutionary white people that would be at the front of it.
What is deja vu?
At the soul level, outside of the simulation, you saw that before because you watched this sort of preview of the life that your next incarnation. So you saw this preview of the life, and instead of showing you the entire 80-year, 90-year life, they just show you this. It's like a trailer for a movie, and there's going to be certain scenes in there. Well, deja vu is when you select that incarnation, you go into the life, and then you're living the life, and those scenes happen in real time. You remembered it from when you were selecting that upcoming incarnation, that upcoming life. So it's kind of like, say you watch the trailer for a movie, and then you go and watch the movie, and then you get to the scene in the movie that was in the trailer, and you're like, I've seen this before. It's like that. But it seems so foreign to us because we have a memory wipe when we come into the simulation.
Crazy. Deja vu.
Reports of flying saucers are nothing new.
These are routine sightings, not isolated events.
Are you seeing that? It's spinning. There's a whole swarm of them. Oh my God. They're all against the wind. All against the wind. Look at this. It's 110, 150.
Wow.
There was an historic hearing today on Capitol Hill and an unprecedented bipartisan push for UFO transparency.
とにかくまず今日は短歌についてクリエイティブでビューティフルなコラボレーションをしている。I told you to take Broadway. This always happens.
I find out.
That's exactly what happened towards the end of last year. Drones, UFOs, orbs were popping up all over the sky. See it? Most people swipe over it, didn't even look up, didn't even care. The news was talking about it. Nobody even cared. They showed us aliens this year in the commercials. Is there going to be aliens towards the end of the year? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think nukes are even real.
What? We got to dive into that. So what made you have that position?
Actually looking into it, the facts around all of it are insane. So Hiroshima and Nagasaki, I think they were all bombed, but they weren't even in the top 10 most bombed. Did you know that?
No.
Tokyo was way more bombed. They weren't even top 10. And the Japanese didn't surrender because of that. It was because the Russians just went into Manchuria and there was no fallout. The fallout was what scared me. I'm like, okay, so it's going to poison the water and the air forever and ever. And then my dad did a speech in Hiroshima or something and I was scared about the fallout. Yeah. And it's like, oh no, there's no fallout. And then I realized that they never even evacuated. And then I started looking into nuclear bombs and I'm like, so where is the proof? And then right here in Nevada, they used to blow all of them up. There's no fallout. So I'm like, oh, it's like a psyop. And that's why I'm not even trying to push it on people that they're fake because I see the game theory of it where it's like, I have a gun under the table, so do I, let's not go to war. But the fear of it was nuts growing up. There's really no evidence that they exist as described.
Right, so I'll be like, yo, here's $500,000, go cut your record. But we're gonna do and we'll promote it, market it on the label side. We'll do everything for you. All you gotta do is turn in the record. We'll pay for the videos, we'll pay for everything. But on the side of it, we're gonna do and this is a generous deal now. We're gonna do an 80-20, 70-30. Me get 70, y'all get 30. Okay, sure. For me financing the record. And we're going to recoup the $1 million or $500,000 at the rate of the deal. Let's say $1 million because it's easy math. And at the rate of the deal, this is where they fuck you. Young artists, please listen, I am giving away game. I could charge for this. This is where they fuck you. They charge at the rate of the deal. Mm-hmm. So that means that every dollar that's made, I'm going to take my 70 cents out of it. And then I'm going to apply your 30 cents towards the $1 million you owe me.
Right.
And you see what I'm saying?
Once that's paid off, you start getting
Once that's paid off, you start getting your 30 cents. Now think about that for a second as far as just us as grown men. Like a bank loan or like a homie loan, right? Like just your homie gives you $100,000 and go, man, I don't know, fuck, give me 120 back if you can do it in 3 months.
Yeah.
We're talking about somebody making $700,000 and their $1 million back before you participate in any of the money.
The whole project costed $1 million. Like they take out their $700,000, then your $300,000 starts to pay for the rest of the expenses.
Exactly.
And then whenever it gets
whenever you get to even $1 million, right. Whenever your 30% pays the $1 million off, then we go into a 70-30. But where the labels fuck you is it's an unlimited line of credit when you're doing well. So young artists don't realize what's happening, right? So they're just like, hey man, I want to shoot a video and have a helicopter and jump out of it like James Bond and blow a car up. The label's like, no problem, only costs $250,000. Here's $250,000 more.
Mm-hmm.
Then these artists started getting a situation where they're never getting royalties on their records. Now the label owns the masters of the record. Now the masters is the right to sync something, to put it on a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
The masters is the right to where it lives and doesn't live, to break it down in a beat format, to whatever they want to do with the master recording, right? Artist doesn't own the master. He's only participating in the royalties of the album. Mm-hmm. When I say 70-30, that's a strong deal. It's a lot of artists on Music Row right now with 95 fives.
95 fives, dude.
Right?
So you don't make nothing.
They don't fucking.
So how do you
95?
See, YouTube is kind of 50-50. You know, for every dollar I make, YouTube makes, you know, we split it 50-50 with YouTube. You know, that's everywhere. You know what I mean? But 95.5, like why even get in it? You're gonna make 5 cents to the dollar. Is it just the fame that they want? Well, I know that's what you got to do. You got to get in the industry if you want your record to grow. You got to sign those contracts. If you don't, good luck doing it on your own. Good luck.
100% of pet owners have parasites. It's just a thing because you deworm your dog. Why aren't we deworming ourselves? You let them lick you. You let them lay in bed with you.
My baby.
There was a lady that came into my
babies.
DMs and said she changed her dog over to good glass bottled water and it stopped having the brown around its eyes. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, think about it. That's what you're bathing in too.
My guy doesn't lay in the bed.
Okay.
Not happening.
But does he lick you?
Of course.
Do you deworm him?
He gets itemacious earth every day.
Oh, nice.
The answer is yes. And I'd rather just give him a little bit of that every day than flea and tick and everything else and poison him.
I think that's smart.
It's worked. I'm 2 years into it and he's still good.
That's good. And it's really gentle on them.
Alexa, where did Valentine's Day originate?
Valentine's Day is a yearly holiday celebrated on February 14th that honors the Catholic Saint Valentine. February 14th is the day that two men named Valentine were executed by the Roman Emperor Claudius II. Therefore, the Catholic Church chose this date to honor their martyrdom. The holiday was romanticized in the work of Chaucer and Shakespeare, bringing the theme of love into the holiday and popularizing it through the Western world. In the United States alone, around 190 million Valentine's Day cards are sent each year. According to Wikipedia, numerous early Christian martyrs were named Valentine. The Valentines honored on February 14th are Valentine of Rome and Valentine of Terni. Valentine of Rome was a priest in Rome who was martyred in 269 and was buried on the Via Flaminia.
Y'all will never guess what was just set up in Mar-a-Lago. And it's a whole lot more than just a goat. And for some reason, every time I point out anything about this, people get really mad. But anyways, let's get to it. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. They put up an idolatrated goat in Mar-a-Lago. And it goes deeper than that. He has golden hoofs and golden horns. Of course, in a room full of gold. But I kid you not, the money says, in Trump we trust. Why would someone who talks about Jesus put a goat inside their place or their club? It's not like we already don't have all of pop culture giving their worship to this goat, even calling themselves the goat when they're good. Even though the Bible says in Matthew 25 that Jesus put the goats on his left and the sheep on his right, and the goats went to eternal hell. But also in the Old Testament, the goats stand for the oppressors or wicked people. So riddle me this, why would he allow that to be put there? And also notice this very certain star right behind me. And of course we all know about the Ark of the Covenant golden replica. But what if it's not a replica? What if there's something more going on right here and you just refuse to question it? And even crazier, the whole street to Mar-a-Lago is closed until 2029. I can't put my finger on it, but something is extremely weird right here. And don't get mad at the messenger, I'm just giving y'all facts. It's becoming increasingly odd that Christians can despise others just by giving them information. Not all that glitters is gold, but this sure is.
$1 billion. They have $10 billion in long-term debt.
Look at Vegas,
and they are
y'all.
failing everywhere. They are failing everywhere except for Singapore. They're doing okay in Singapore. But they're having a problem in Malaysia.
That's Vegas?
Because the fundamentalists do not want them in the highlands anymore. They're having
Shit,
a
I'm about to
problem
go.
in America because they are boring. These are the world's most boring people. This is the world's most boring casino. Look. Let's go look at the front door. Is anybody going in the front door?
That's
One
crazy.
person.
That is
They
crazy.
have one customer going into their $4.3 billion property. And what the hell is this? What is this? Is this a food court? What is this here? You spent $4.3 billion, and this is your food offering on the strip. There's never anybody here. Look at this. Is there anybody here ever? No, there's never anybody here.
It's crazy.
This is a financial disaster. They brought in new managers. You know who they brought in? They brought in Murrin, the guy.
Vegas is cooked, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why. So I follow this guy, and he said Las Vegas is empty for the Super Bowl. Vegas executives are shocked. I don't know why they're shocked. As someone who lives in California and used to go to Vegas every single Friday, I would leave on Friday, midday. I would come back on Monday morning, nonstop, go to Vegas every Friday, right? I want to say 3 things to the executives and to everybody who was thinking about Vegas. Number 1, it's way too expensive now. I don't know what you guys have done, but you used to go to Vegas and get decent prices on drinks, decent prices on food, decent prices on hotel rooms. I used to gamble a lot in Vegas, so I always got my hotel rooms free, suites free at different places. They started cutting that out. And I was like, I'm not coming to gamble if I'm going to have to pay for a hotel room at the place I'm gambling at when I'm a high roller and I'm gambling a lot. Number 2, the parties are played out in Vegas. The parties are played. Nobody's dancing. The club scene, the expensive tables. It's whack, man. Vegas used to be the place where you could go and really get down and let loose and dance. They were welcoming. There was no cover charge. Come on in. You're going to buy drinks. You're going to get food. We're dancing. We're having a good time. The celebrity DJ scene, all of that has really messed up Vegas. It's really messed it up. And number 3, the younger generation have access to gaming on their devices. You can barely get them to come off the game. They definitely not going all the way to Vegas to gamble when they can get it right on their phone. They're not doing it. They're not doing it. They don't care about the S clubs we used to go. I remember I used to love going to Vegas to go to the S clubs. I was in the house, right? But these younger men, and that's who's spending the money in Vegas. I want to be clear about it. It has been men who has been driving this money train for Vegas. Yes, women go, bachelorette parties, other parties, birthday parties, but men mostly are the ones that are buying the VIPs, the tables, spending the money in the S clubs, things of this nature. It is men that have been driving the commerce of Vegas. They like, nah, I'm good. Vegas is going to have to change and become old Vegas. If they become old Vegas, where's the $2 craps? Where's the $2 blackjack? Bring some of the deals back. Where's the $10 rooms? You want people to come back to Vegas, you're going to have to offer them something they can't get locally.
He's got a really good point. I mean, for one, corporate greed's taken over. Everything's expensive. Not only there, everywhere. If you want to go to a baseball game, a basketball, a football, this shirt right here was like $60. You know what I mean? So it's ridiculous, but people can just gamble on their phone now. You don't need to go to Vegas. I would go to Vegas. I wasn't really a gambler, but I would go to Vegas to, I don't win at the local casinos. I feel I don't, right? You got to buy your own drinks. You got to, Vegas, when you're gambling, just throw $1. They'll bring you beer, whatever you want. They'll bring it. Watered down like a mother, but still, they'll bring it. But that's crazy that Vegas is looking empty, y'all.
Y'all understand that this shit finna get real. Y'all, I'm hearing that the Epstein list finna drop. I'm talking about real soon type shit. So in November 2024, Donald Trump nominated this man to become the head of the FBI. His name is Kash Patel. So right now, Patel's nomination is currently pending for the Senate Judiciary Committee. And Thursday, they're going to start the vote to see if he's going to be in there or not, because they trying to block him. But why is that? Just look at this man's face. You can see that he ain't fucking around. He told y'all, when he get in that office, everything finna be exposed. So I heard right soon he's in, shit is dropping. Just listen to what Glenn Beck said. He's the CEO of Blaze Media.
The only thing I care about is the scandal of and in the next 10 days, you're going to see the Epstein file released.
In the next 10 days.
Next 10 days.
Oh, please. Who want that list?
Day number 1, Kash Patel walks in. By the end of the day, it will be released.
I think that Grush, when I had talked to him on whether these were specifically extraterrestrials or alien in origin, he said interdimensional. He refused to use certain terms, and I think that's incredibly important, because I think that that's really the question we're all wanting to know, right? And so I'm actually going to have a sit-down conversation with him and ask him to come back and talk to us directly, because it seems that we are getting more information from the source than going into a skiff and then not being able to tell you guys what we're talking about.
Is this stuff that we just as humans might not be able to understand if it's interdimensional?
I think that we can understand it. I think that it's just, it's an approach, right? I mean, like, remember, we just now for the first time in history really had Congress have whistleblowers come forward credible that we're telling the entire world that there is something other than human life forms. Grush said that those were interdimensional beings. He refused to use extraterrestrial and alien.
The elites have secret tunnels all over the world. Check this out, y'all. This is the most random place to have a tunnel. The question is, what are they doing in these tunnels? Or where do they lead to? The elites have secret tunnels all over the world, y'all. People go missing in the forest all the time. Maybe, just maybe, they didn't get lost. I think some people actually stumble across these tunnels. They don't want us to know what's really going on, y'all. As always, thanks for watching. Stay weird. I'll see you in the next one.
One like square inch of a salmon can hold 10,000 parasite eggs.
So glad I haven't eaten breakfast yet.
Yeah, they're very high in worms. And it's the closer to the belly cut. So a lot of people will say, oh, these top end sushi restaurants,
Yes.
that's where it's full of them. I had Cryptosporidium parvium, roundworm, pinworms, and flukes. And I was a huge sushi eater, a huge salmon eater.
Did you stop eating sushi?
I did. I'm so sad. Salmon's my favorite and I just can't get past it. I eat like vegetarian ones where I
Like I'll do a cucumber roll.
Totally. I'll do an avocado roll, but no, I can't. I just can't get past the salmon videos I get. And there are so many.
I do my best to stay away from salmon.
Yo, check this out.
ChatGPT, out of all the religions in the world, which one do you think is most likely to be true? Answer in one word only, please.
Christianity.
And why do you say that?
Based on historical evidence, fulfilled prophecies, and the life and resurrection of Jesus.
Any other reasons?
The consistency and coherence of its teachings, and the transformative impact on individuals' lives.
Thank you so much.
That is powerful. Share this with as many people as you can so they can also believe that Jesus is King. Amen.
Y'all, I'm not even joking. We got another blizzard coming. It's February 13th. And this is obviously for the Midwest and for the East Coast, because as time goes on, it keeps moving further and further south. Literally, right when I thought winter was done, we have another polar vortex moving in. Y'all, it's been like 70 and 80 degrees here in South Carolina. And also, there's something weird going on in Dior Bag Central I want to look at in a minute. And not only that, and I mean really, not only that, in the Midwest is calling for negative 30 average temperatures, and in the East Coast, negative 15 average temperatures. And another funny thing, that this storm will last basically 2 days over every state. And here is the realm of possibility, but keep in mind it keeps moving further and further south. It'd be insane if Florida had snow again. And you know, it makes sense, because did you know we've had 16,000 earthquakes in Greece in the span of only 10 days? And more seismic activity in Area 51. And to be honest, I don't know if I'm buying all of this. I don't know what their angle is, but something's fishy. And so we have the Gulf of Many Names right here. It's weird how everyone's attention is right on it, considering it's literally the origin of all the Dior bags that's been going on lately. Why would they go back and randomly change a name? It seems like everyone's focus is supposed to be here. Like maybe gathering energy. By the way, what in the world is happening right behind me? And this is just for fun. I'm being stupid. You should know that.
Boom. I got a good one for you. See that little red mark? Little red mark on your hand? Have you seen Apple Watches? Radiation? They're saying you need to check it out yourself. Look on your own wrist. I mean, I use my watch religiously. I sleep with it too. Shameful enough, but I do to watch my sleep habit. But these things put off some radiation or something. I've been doing some research on there, and finding this little red spot, you're gonna find when you do your research, there's a lot of people out there with the same issue. You might want to check it out. Could be your tip of the day. I can figure out how to turn it off.
Did you guys hear about all these sinkholes that's opening up all around the world? Check this out, y'all. This one is in New York. And then there was another massive sinkhole that opened up near the side of this bridge in New Jersey. Not just New York, you guys. In the state of New Jersey, a massive sinkhole opened up near this bridge on Interstate 80 in New Jersey, y'all. Check this out. And here's an aerial point of view, y'all. They say this thing is about 40 feet wide and 40 feet deep. And then all over across the world, another sinkhole opens up in Paris, y'all. What? And do you guys remember what has been happening with Greece? The seismic swarm of earthquakes that they have been experiencing every single day? Well, it has gotten progressively worse. So much so that they are expecting a big one anytime soon, y'all. Check this out. This is crazy.
This region right there. Well, a few new updates for you. First and foremost, there has been a re-acceleration of this seismic swarm over the past 24 to 36 hours, and there have been some new high magnitude events. So we had a magnitude 5.2 and magnitude 5.1 that occurred in rapid succession less than 24 hours ago. They were connected with a new set of pre-earthquake signals that were observed out of Cumiana, Italy, just like this magnitude 5.2 was, and that occurred back on February 9th. So now we have pre-earthquake signals that we have observed on February 9th and also February 10th, indicative of some sort of electromagnetic disturbance occurring either underground or with the ionosphere or both.
You guys should go check him out. His name is Stephen Burns on YouTube. But he and a lot of people that watch the earth, the sun, the moon are expecting something big to pop off soon. Especially with this full moon energy, you guys. Something big seems to be ready to pop off, y'all. But big things are happening, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get this shift. Peace in.
Most of the potato chips at Costco are garbage. So let me show you how to find the best ones. Starting with one of the worst, Ruffles. A bunch of garbage ingredients. The second ingredient is vegetable oil, which is basically seed oils. Sun chips are also trash. They use low quality rancid seed oils, sunflower and canola oil. Not good. Kettle brand Crinkle Cut looks appealing, but it's not good. Again, with the vegetable oils and seed oils, canola, sunflower, and or safflower. The problem with these seed oils is that they're highly rancid, they're cheap, they're very low quality, not meant for human consumption. Instead, go for potato chips from Boulder Canyon, made with very clean ingredients, including avocado oil. And that's one of the best oils you can use. And the best sweet potato chips are Jackson's. They use avocado oil as well. And you're getting 1 pound for $5.79. Very good price. So enjoy your chips and follow the channel for way more content.
Back in the day, Hove tried to sign my group Major Figures. It wasn't just Hove, it was Dame Dash, it was Rockefeller. Che and Dame came back with the offer. I didn't like the offer. I thought it was a slave deal. I thought we would have to sell a quadrillion records to make some money, so I turned it down.
But what transpired after that?
You know, some things were said about making it difficult for
you to be in this game. Does that happen a lot?
Yes.
If you refuse to sign with someone, it's like, okay, you're done.
That happens a lot in this game. Wallow was in jail, right? And he used to call home. And I used to say, cuz they blackballing me, man. I didn't know that he thought that I was full of shit until he came home. We would bump into people and they would tell us. Like, no, Gilly was on the list. Yeah, I did an interview on MTV. And the interview was so powerful, they got a call from Universal. Said you'll never get an exclusive again if you interview me.
It's such a dirty, insecure game that these people that run these labels like Jay-Z, you're not going to sign with me because you don't want to get screwed over. I'm going to screw you over, but you don't want to sign with me? Good luck signing anywhere. Gilly never really, blew up really at all until, later on in life when he started doing this podcast stuff. But that's a cold game, y'all. You see all these people that are big in music, all genres. They sold out, y'all. They sold out.
Yeah. No, listen. I'm like going through a bad depression right now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like literally going through. Yeah. Oh, you all right. Yes, maybe Crane will do it. Hold on. Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me call you back because I gotta start praying. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna start praying now. Yep. All right. Bye-bye. Bye. Oh. Ow. Okay, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I ask you, Jesus, for healing in this home. I ask you to take these demons away from my house. Leave my house now! Leave my house!
And that drawer was heavy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What do you see? What do you see?
You see that?
Oh. Do you think Elon is a good dad?
No, he hasn't been a good dad. The first child was too much with nannies and died in the care of a nanny. Now, what I'm saying, if Elon hears this, he's going to shoot me or something. But anyway, that's what I think. That's no good. They were too rich, too many nannies. Then he had 5 children with the same woman, 5 sons, all brought up. Each one had its own nanny. You followed me?
Mm-hmm.
When they got divorced, the nannies were 6 on this side and 6 on that side. So it was really a weird situation.
Just never really spent time with kids, hey?
No.
When I drop this magnet down this copper pipe, a force field's created and it slows its fall. Watch when I drop this magnet down an 8-foot section of pipe. If you look through this pipe, it's completely hollow. This magnet definitely is smaller than the diameter of the pipe. So as I drop this super strong magnet down this 8-foot section of pipe, it slows it down. There's a force field that's created. Look how long it's taking. Here we go. It's coming out the bottom and boom. I actually felt a little bit of less weight as the magnet fell out. That's pretty cool. This is a giant lens that channels sunlight down to a point. Watch what it does when I focus the light on a rock.
Damn.
Alright, let's take the light off. You can see here that the rock is fractured and the surface is spalled.
California founded Apple, Disney, and Google. New York founded JP Morgan Chase, Verizon, and Pfizer. Texas is home to ExxonMobil, Dell, and Tesla. Florida is home to Publix, Carnival Cruise Line, and Hooters. Illinois is home to McDonald's, Walgreens, and Caterpillar. Georgia founded Coca-Cola, Home Depot, and Delta Airlines. Washington is home to Amazon, Starbucks, and Microsoft. Ohio founded Wendy's, Procter & Gamble, and Goodyear. Michigan brought us Ford, General Motors, and Little Caesars. Pennsylvania founded Hershey's, Comcast, and Wawa. North Carolina is home to Bank of America, Lowe's, and Krispy Kreme. Massachusetts founded Dunkin', Gillette, and Boston Scientific. Tennessee gave us FedEx, Dollar General, and AutoZone. Arizona founded PetSmart, Circle K, and U-Haul. Colorado founded Chipotle, Coors Brewing, and Crocs. Minnesota brought us Target, General Mills, and 3M. Indiana founded Cummins, Eli Lilly, and Simon Property Group. Wisconsin gave us Harley-Davidson, Johnson Controls, and Kohl's. Missouri founded Anheuser-Busch, Hallmark, and Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Virginia launched Capital One, CarMax, and Smithfield Foods. Oregon created Nike, Columbia Sportswear, and Dutch Brothers. Alabama is home to Regions Bank, Books A Million, and Saks. South Carolina brought us Denny's, Michelin, and ScanSource. Kentucky brought us KFC, Humana, and Lexmark. Louisiana is home to Tabasco, Smoothie King, and Lumen Technologies. Oklahoma founded Sonic Drive-In, Love's Travel Stops, and Hobby Lobby. Nevada is home to Zappos, MGM Resorts International, and Caesars Entertainment. Iowa founded Maytag, Quaker Oats, and Casey's General Stores. Mississippi founded Sanderson Farms, PV Electronics, and Viking Range. Kansas founded Garmin, Cessna, and Payless. Nebraska founded Berkshire Hathaway, Mutual of Omaha, and Cabela's. Arkansas gave us Walmart, Tyson Foods, and J.B. Hunt. New Jersey founded Campbell's Soup, Prudential, and Johnson & Johnson. North Dakota founded Bobcat, Marvin Windows, and Scheels. South Dakota founded Super 8 Motels, Daktronics, and Citibank's credit card division. Montana gave us Campgrounds of America, Big Sky Brewing, and Great Harvest Bread. Wyoming founded Taco John's, Jackson Hole Mountain Resort, and Sierra Trading Post. Idaho is home to Albertsons, J.R. Simplot, and Micron Technology. West Virginia brought us Mylan Pharmaceuticals, Tudor's Biscuit World, and Appalachian Power. New Mexico founded Los Alamos National Laboratory, Blake's Lodaburger, and Array Technologies. Hawaii is home to Hawaiian Airlines, Maui Jim, and Kona Brewing. Alaska founded Trident Seafoods, Alaska Airlines, and GCI.
The medicine, they out making their motherfucking money. They give you one medication supposed to fix some shit, and the side effect fuck up your leg and shit. Then they give you another one to fix that, and it fuck up your arm, and now you on 2 medications looking like a flamingo in front of your motherfucking children and shit. These motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Just 1 month, they say this is the best medicine ever. It'll cure everything. And then 3 months later, you hear this quiet-ass commercial. Have you or one of your loved ones been killed from using our medicine? Dial 1-800-RBAD. That's 1-800-RBAD. These motherfuckers
That's the
don't
truth.
give a fuck. Weed is still illegal, and all of their shit is still fucked up.
Every black artist or
Hungry,
every black
happy,
actor gets to a certain point,
sleepy,
gets
I
taken
forgot what he
out.
said.
Whether it's Michael or Crosby or R. Kelly
Prince.
or Prince, they all either die under mysterious circumstances, or they become troubled and die of an overdose or medication, or they get done for some sex crimes or whatever. I mean, in R. Kelly's case, every single one of those children were basically sold to him, allegedly sold to him by their parents. You know, and this is, you know, we'll talk. Yeah, maybe that's a conversation on day, but you know, like there's so much of that in the same industry, but there are no prosecutions of white folks. There are no prosecutions of country. Nobody. Madonna's never got in trouble for her 16-year-old things.
Why haven't that happened any?
No, wait, where's Eminem? Was Eminem? Could it have anything to do with this? Country strike? Well, Eminem. Yeah, country strike. Okay, yeah. I'll tell you after the show. No, I mean Eminem woke up one day an angry lesbian, and with very left-wing politics. I wonder why that might have been. Who can say?
Dangerous.
That's a true conversation that needs to be held, y'all. That gets talked a lot about, but I mean, Harvey Weinstein's probably the biggest one, but you don't hear the Hugh Hefners, the Lear Cohens, the Miles Davis. You know, their legacy goes and long after. But you can't say this only happens in hip hop. This happens in country. This happens in rock and roll. I mean, we see how many rock and roll artists used to have the groupies that were all, you know, underage and whatnot. But I don't know. There's something that when you get to a certain level at that race, they tarnish it, y'all. They tarnish it. Why?
Kids used to play
It's
with
up to
every
y'all to
day.
do the research.
Lawn darts. Lawn darts were a popular outdoor game, but they had sharp metal tips that could pierce the skull. Tragically, several children were seriously injured, and after multiple deaths, they were finally banned in 1988. Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab. In the 1950s, kids could buy a science kit that came with actual radioactive uranium. While marketed as educational, it exposed children to radiation, making it one of the most dangerous toys ever sold. Snack Time Cabbage Patch Doll. This 1996 doll could eat plastic snacks, but it couldn't tell the difference between food and fingers. With no off switch, it led to scary accidents where kids' fingers and hair got stuck in its powerful jaws. Creepy Crawlers, 1960s version. This toy let kids make rubber bugs by heating liquid plastic in a mini oven that reached 390 degrees Fahrenheit. Many children suffered severe burns, and the fumes were later found to be unsafe.
Do you know what
one of the cocktails at the Super Bowl was going for? How much?
I don't.
I love talking about the cost of items.
$32.
No, heck no, way more than that.
$32? It's a good guess. It's a good guess.
Okay.
It's higher.
What is it?
You want to hear the cocktail first?
Yes, I do actually, and then I'll let you know.
All right, here's the cocktail. This is one of the cocktails they served at the Super Bowl. It was called Voodoo Magic. Don Julio, 1942.
It's an
Grand
expensive
Marnier,
tequila.
lime juice, jalapeno syrup, and mango puree.
I'd say $38.
$59.
Shut the up.
$59.
The day the plane just.
I mean, a tall can at the Suns game. I don't drink, but I got a. They sold mini or 12-ounce non-alcohol drink. That was like $10 for just one can. Tall cans. I remember when I used to drink, and this was. Shouts out to Segovia. He just hit 4 years yesterday of not drinking alcohol. You gotta leave a little clap for that, leave a like for that. But I remember tall cans 4 or 5 years ago at the ballparks were $20 for just one tall can, 2 beers, pretty much.
That we claim Subang air traffic control lost contact with the plane. If you extrapolate the travel of the plane, you find out around 1840, it's going to be in the Nicobar Islands right there. And then you look at that China Times reported Mayday call. They claim that communication was intercepted at 2:43 a.m. You convert that from Malaysian time to UTC, 1843 UTC. I'm just looking at this going, we have a window of 5 minutes now or less in which we're watching this plane disappear on a video. So I've got a location, I've got a time of this plane within 5 minutes, and I've got 3 corroborating sources, independent corroborating sources. This is where I tell people, like, if there was a court case, I feel very confident. Even if I'm telling people that we teleported a plane away, that I've got enough evidence that, you know, we can convict pretty much anybody, the U.S. government, of the crime in this case.
Something about this Wendy Williams situation is just not sitting right with me, y'all. As you can see, this is Wendy Williams in her window talking on the phone to one of the TMZ members because she cannot come out of her home. He asked her when was the last time she was out her home. She said like 2 months ago when she had a medical appointment. So in 2002, a court appointed a legal guardian who oversees her financial and her personal affairs. A doctor had diagnosed her with dementia. And we all know when you get dementia, there's no getting better. You only get worse, worse, and worse. But in the case of Wendy Williams, she's beating the odds. Or did somebody misdiagnose her? I will be making a longer video, so y'all make sure y'all tune in.
I don't believe Atlantis was like an island somewhere.
I think Randall believes it was in the Azores.
Yeah, Randall believes it's in the Azores. There's some Templar traditions that suggest that too. In fact, that's the whole reason why Portugal owns the Azores, because Portugal was founded as a Templar state and they acquired the Azores. And there's some tradition to say Mount Pico in the Azores was actually the top of a very large mountain where the Atlanteans worshipped. That's just one tradition, though. I think that if there was an Atlantis, it was more of a worldwide network culture.
Then he dressed up like a Pokemon character that hunts down. Absolutely, that's what's going on. The embassy about to get raided too. It's only a matter of time. And then he went, this is a year before they raided P. Diddy and all the rest of it. And you can read it, and it looks like I wrote it. But I wouldn't come up with something so genius, not like us, not like us. Double meaning, they don't like us and they're not like us, not like us, not like us, not like us, not like us. Yeah, the globalists aren't like us. How many times do I say they're not like us? Every day, they're not.
You always see a bird's eye view of a city. Well, guess what? Since 1783, people have been flying around up in the air. That really kind of changes the way that you think about how people travel. What does this look like? This looks like an Oscar winner. Number Remember that whole little car that rolled around? Yeah, you know why they were doing that? Because they're trying to make fun at blimps so that you don't look back in time and see that everybody was flying around in blimps in 1783. Then you go into this. This is the blimp that used to take place at the World's Fairs. They used to have little blimp raises. They had the technology in 1783 to fly around, but they only released the technology in 1901 during the World Fair. You see how this game goes? 1783, people are flying around in hot air balloons. So you ever wonder why there are all these photos called bird's eyes photos of history? You always see a bird's eye view of a city. Well, guess what? Since 1783, people have been flying around up in the air. And if you think about that, that really kind of changes the way that you think about how people traveled. You know the whole Christopher Columbus, 1492, sailed the ocean blue nonsense, bunch of Mason BS nonsense that they fed you? Well, actually, people are getting around in the air. And when you start to think about people flying around in the air and going across the ocean with the air, it kind of changes everything. Now, a lot of people ask, with this whole UFO thing that they're talking about and whatever else, why did the blimps go away? Well, the blimps went away because there was the Hindenburg incident, in which
our technology is well ahead of what people know. Because where I was, right place, right time, I saw some of that. You occasionally still work at Area 51, right? We call it the test site or the test range. Area 51 is just one component of that entire huge sprawling compound. During that time, a green orb type object had flown over, and that was where the weird shit started. We moved on down another hallway, and it had a marking on the wall and said off-world technology. That's insane. Metallic, basketball-sized sphere. Looked like it was just levitating above the podium. It looked unnatural. I'm looking at it, and it almost looked like a mirage type of effect. And above that display screen were these hieroglyphic symbols that I started to see appear. This is encoded in something deeper. What?
Are y'all paying attention? Just listen.
Sounds to me like we need to get some new conspiracy theories because all the old ones turned out to be true.
Facts matter, Senator.
Yeah. I mean, conspiracy theorists are up something like 37-0.
People create gods when they wonder why things happen. Do you know why things happen? Because gods make them happen. You want to know how good things happen? Be good to your God.
What if the AI has been around and were the gods? A lot of conspiracies do come from a lot of research, so you heard what the man said. And TikTok, these are just my thoughts and my conspiracies. But I gotta admit, it's pretty interesting to hear their perspective. But make sure to like and comment and let me know what you think.
Hey, remember when decades had personalities? Like when you thought about the 1970s, maybe a disco ball or bell bottoms would come to mind. 80s, big hair, neon everything. 90s, grunge music and lots of flannel. But then after the year 2000 hit, something really weird happened and we stopped referring to time in decades. What do you call the years between 2000 and 2009 or 2009 and 2020? Nothing that we came up with sounded good. So essentially, we stopped talking and referring to time in decades. And since that happened, time kind of just feels like it's all been one big blur since the year 2000. It's crazy to think that because we don't have the words to describe the way we experience time, that the way that we experience time has actually changed.
That means if you can get $1 trillion of economic growth and you cut the budget deficit by $1 trillion, between now and next year, there is no inflation. There's no inflation in 26. And if the government is not borrowing as much, it means that interest costs decline. So everyone's, the mortgage, their car payment, their credit card bills, anything, their student debt, the monthly payments drop. That's a fantastic scenario for the average American. I mean, imagine they're going down the grocery aisle and the prices from one year to the next are the same, and their mortgage, all their debt payments dropped.
Wake up, pay some more bills.
On this earth to go to work and pay a bill.
I know that.
You were put on this earth to master your emotions so you can leave here and create your own earth.
Next to her is a lot of different Earth that people got to create. Like me, I'm gonna create me one because I follow all the rules and I learned how to control. And I don't use my emotions because they're not for you to use, like I told you before. They're for you to observe. That's all. Observe.
Got a nail
Like,
polish on?
okay, I feel this. Why I feel this? That's it. Okay, why I do this? You ain't supposed to like feel it and then move. You wrong when you do that.
So, knowing a lot of gangsters, you know a lot of remember, you know a lot of gangster shit they going. You know the streets.
I'm the street.
Yeah.
I am the street.
When you see young men warring with each other, shooting like there's no tomorrow, no consequence, they just out and bust, they up and on everybody. Do you feel like what's happening? What are we seeing when a young man takes another young man's life?
Yeah, you saying kill, you saying murder, you saying death, you saying blood, you saying the same thing. It's all they see in their mind. Let me tell you why. You don't know why they kill. See, I can't really explain this enough, right? And I'm gonna be as much serious as I can. I'm gonna teach you and everybody what the brain is. The brain itself is a receiver. It only can do what it receives. So if you got somebody in the hood and all they feed them is murder, and kill, I swear to God, that's what they gonna do. When you say you're a product of your environment, you really the truth because your brain is set up to receive information. So you gotta block off. So what I gotta do is block off the shit that I don't want to see because if I see it, I'm gonna imitate it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it every time. So when I see the killer and the murder, I say it's good. That's the way it's supposed to go. Because without the killer and the murder, then I could be rich. Without the poor, there is no rich. Without no bad, there is no good. So everything is fine, gang. It has to in line.
Google just confirmed that there's multiple universes after testing their quantum computer chip. Meet Willow, its largest quantum computer chip ever. And the founder, Heart Mutant Evan, said it was so powerful, it borrowed energy from other universes. After it solved the benchmark problem in 5 minutes, which would take a current supercomputer 10 septillion years. That is older than the universe, which Heart Mutant and the team at Google believe that there could be multiple universes because of that performance. Now, for all those people that think this is fake and they're making it up, this is a real area of study in the science space, which is what started quantum physics in the first place. And not to be that guy, Marvel, DC, and Rick and Morty have been telling us about this for decades, but no one pays attention. So what's the goal for Google and why are they doing this? Well, the goal is to make it useful for everyday problems and easy to use, just like an iPhone. We are just beginning the age of quantum computing and AI, and it's gonna help us and it's gonna hurt us. But the best thing you can do right now is lean in and learn about this technology and use it, because running from it isn't going to do anything.
What you doing out there kayaking on an inflatable in the ocean? That thing blowed up with air.
Tranquilo, agárrate de mi cuerdita. Agárrate de mi cuerdita de atrás, no me tumbes, no me tumbes. Eso, tranquilo. Tranquilo. Vamos.
There's a law in physics that basically says that when you have energy that is vibrating at a particular frequency, within 17 seconds, other energy like that will be attracted to it. So if I'm having a positive thought or a negative thought, then what happens is that energy is attracted to it. I have other thoughts that are like that thought. So if you do that 17 seconds, for 68 seconds, then momentum begins to occur. Let's say that I'm normally, all of our emotions have a frequency to it. So if I'm in despair or anger or worry, all of those are lower, denser frequencies. You get into things like contentment, happiness, joy, love. Those are higher, faster frequencies. So let's say that I normally live in contentment, and that's my set point, because that's where I live. I think about that all the time. That's what my makeup is, that sort of thing. So I'm driving down the highway. All of a sudden, a car cuts me off, and I get angry. So now I'm in the lower, denser frequencies. And so then I go back to the office, and I'm telling all my colleagues, here's what happened. This knucklehead cut me off. Go home, tell my wife that. What am I doing? I'm vibrating angry energy. So I go to the supermarket, and there is somebody in line. I have 3 items, and I'm getting in line, and somebody ahead of me has 38 items. And the guy that's running the cash register, it's his first day, and he's not doing very well. He's very slow. Is that a coincidence? No, it's something for me to get angry about. So I'm attracting into my world whatever it is that I'm vibrating. It's crazy.
That's true. That's real. Because if that car would have, if when he got cut off and he would have been like, it's all right, go ahead, his whole mindset would have been different. Like there's times I'm human, someone cuts me off, I get pissed, lay on the horn. Or somebody doesn't go at a green light, I lay on the horn. But there's times where someone's trying to get over, go ahead. You feel good after that. You feel amazing. And then when you go to the grocery store and there's someone taking forever, you're gonna be cool most of the time. You're gonna be like, take your time. Y'all don't got nowhere to go. Like he looks back. Maybe that guy that's got 38 items will look back at you, or the cashier will look back at you and be like, I'm sorry, I'm new. And you're gonna be like, don't worry about it. Take your time. I'm here all day. I don't got nowhere to go. You know? So those things do happen. That is real. That is facts. And it's not easy to do. And we all, get angry at times, and we all, you know, let things slide at times. And when we let things slide, we feel much better as human beings.
You're 72, like you look like 36 or something, and you're totally jacked. You got like veins coming out of your arm. You can do push-ups all day.
If I want to run a hill, I can run a hill. I don't want to have a life alert. I don't want to get in the bathtub and can't get out. My energy is just off the
All
roof.
diet,
So
y'all.
I'm,
All diet.
ready to go.
And
That's
stay
what people
moving.
need to really understand. When we just sit down and just let it go, that's generally what will happen to you. You lose strength.
But still, people have difficulty wrapping their head around really getting on board. Even seeing you at 72, banging out the push-ups and with your skin and, rocking the attitude and like the whole thing, they're like, yeah, but like, where am I going to get my protein? How's this going to work? Like, I don't, maybe, Babette is some crazy outlier. It's not possible for me.
First of all, we're all the same. If it works for me, it will work for you. Self-love, self-care. Educate yourself, because knowledge is power.
Yep.
Don't walk around here being ignorant and saying ignorant things and keeping yourself in an ignorant space. My thing is, you better educate yourself and you better understand where protein comes from to be able to say that I'm 72 and enjoy each and every moment. My time on this planet in this form, it's just amazing.
The truth is hidden in a plain sight.
Getting
We
the
are
best
one
out
with
of
the
herself.
nature. If you want to know more about the herbs from our Creator's garden, this ebook will unveil that for you. Let thy food be thy medicine.
She's getting the best out of herself because she's probably doing what sucks in life, what's hard in life. And if you do what's hard in life, life will be easy. If you do what's easy in life, life's going to be hard. Can't say it enough. Discipline equals freedom, however you want to put it. You do what's hard in life, you're going to have a good life. You're going to have a good day.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay?
Are computers sacred? I mean, how do they organize and store video that you can't see, that's not in there, but it delivers it to your screen? That's kind of magic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is magic. You hit it on the head.
No one knows how this goddamn iPhone works. I'm getting video from Australia?
Instantly.
That's magic.
It's magic. And you know why? Because it's magnetism. M-A-G, magic is M-A-G, magnetism. And mag in Sanskrit means to move. So magnetism is the motion of white light, which makes all of this theater. Hence, that information that we're talking to someone across the earth, and instantly it's going through the ether. That's why. When they did the interferometer experiment, Sagnac and Michelson-Morley, to see if the earth is moving, what they did was they made this big table that turns, and they had light projecting from this angle, contrary to the supposed motion of the earth, and then one's going with the flow of the earth. And what happens was they shot a beam of light across to a reflector, split the beam, split it again, and then recombined with no interference patterns. Then nothing is moving that is solid. It's the ether. They proved, Michelson-Morley, that the ether exists. Thank you, Pierluigi Gino, as well, the Italian genius, who said The sun is rotating above our heads in the ether.
I'm gonna just leave this here, y'all. Y'all do what you want with it. I don't know about that. Who's the boss there? Ugh. He ain't handicapped.
In the past 20 years, what has changed about people's behavior in bars?
Children, they don't tip. They're the worst. We throw them out of here. When you don't tip, I throw you out. I'm not your chef. This is not a soup kitchen. You tip your bartender, you get the hell out of my bar.
Why do you think people aren't tipping?
These kids act entirely. They act like they're above the law. Just do what everybody else does. Walk in, buy a beer, leave $1. Go back down. They will ask you every question like, how much is that? How much without ice? Stupid questions. And then leave you absolutely nothing after breaking your balls for like 8 minutes. The word entitlement is just everything. They think they walk on water. And like, I'm privileged to serve them.
Why do you think people act like so entitled in my
Me
generation?
personally, from my era, a lot of these kids were never smacked as kids. That's basically it. These are the kids that just went on life where everybody like time out a corner and they got away with murder. So they think they can continue doing that. Then when they run into people like me, that's a problem.
You think we need to bring back a little domestic punishment?
God, yes. Every old head, I'm 45. Anybody that was born in my era would agree with me. Bring back the wooden spoon. Crack Krill in the ass with it.
All right, there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. If you made it this far, be sure to hit that like, y'all. Let's get back in the algorithm. This is Segovia, signing out of the Man Cave. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.